Barney. Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. So I just attempted to film with Gigi. I wanted to do like an update about her, with her, and you know, about just being a new mom of a daughter. Well, not a new mom because I got like 10 kids, but not a new mom, but you know, having a daughter is new to me. It's very exciting. It's a different experience than having boys. So I just wanted to do an update about, you know, primarily about her, and it would have been great if she could have been in the video with me, but she decided to. She didn't want to. I'm just going to talk about a few things that I would have liked to have known, you know, when I was pregnant. So let's get right into it. Having 3 C-sections was definitely an experience. The experience progressed, you know, with the amount of children that I had. The first C-section, I was terrified. I did not want a C-section at all. I actually told the doctor no, and he strongly suggested that I have a C-section, and I actually was like, no, I'm not having a C-section. And you know, he had to tell me that you're putting your child at risk. I was so terrified of having the surgery, so I was being irrational. So when, you know, the C-section itself, it wasn't bad, the first one. You really just kind of feel pressure, and then when they pull the baby out, you feel them pulling the baby out, but the actual procedure itself, you don't really feel anything, except it feels like someone is touching and tugging and pulling on you. But it was a lot of pressure when they actually went to pull the baby out. Bentley's C-section was a lot like Benjamin's, so it was a similar experience, both of those C-sections. Now my C-section with Gigi, it was my third one, and it was completely different. It was completely different because I had so much scar tissue, because it was my third C-section, and I had kind of had the boys back to back. You know, a C-section is a major surgery, so your body needs time to heal. And my body hadn't really had that time to heal because I kept getting pregnant. So when I had Gigi, the C-section was a completely different experience. I went in there thinking, you know, the recovery is not the best, but I know what to expect, so I'll be cool, you know. It was not. That C-section was so painful, like I said, again, because of all the scar tissue. I felt every little thing, like it felt just like aggressive tugging and pulling and pressure. I was just laying there like, please, when is this going to be over? But the recovery, it was flipped. So the first 2 C-sections, the actual procedure seemed easy and the recovery was hard. This one, the procedure was hard and the recovery was easier. So I'll attribute the easy recovery to 2 things: where I was mentally when I had each of the children. So when I had Benjamin, I was kind of just like still trying to find myself, not just all over the place. And I'm still trying to find myself in some areas of my life today. But the most important things in my life, in my household, in my family, in my marriage, we're headed in the right direction. And mentally, that puts you in a different place, and it allows you to be able to enjoy the experience that much more. It was just a blessed experience from beginning to end. But not only does it allow you to enjoy the experience, it allowed me to prepare myself the whole time. You know, I knew what to expect. I knew the things that I needed to do to become stronger so that I can get back on my feet, because unlike the first time, I had 2 other kids, you know, that I would have to tend to after I had this baby. I just, you know, prepare myself mentally and spiritually, so the recovery was amazing. Like, it was smooth sailing, even though the procedure was not the easiest. So yeah, that's my experience with having 3 C-sections. You know, your body, it gets weary as it continues to go through certain things. So the third C-section, I can definitely tell, like, this is your third C-section. Do I see any differences with having boys and girls? in general, as a parent, no, I don't see any differences. I see differences. The main difference I would say was in me, because having boys, you know, they were my little boys. I love them. Benjamin was like, he introduced me to being a mom. So each experience was unique in its own way. However, with having a girl, because me and her are the same gender, it caused me to have to examine myself. You know, I wanted to be the woman that I would like to see her become when she grows up. So anything that was in me that was not of the Most High, that shouldn't have been in me, I had to do the work to get it out, because I didn't want to exhibit anything in myself that I wouldn't want in my daughter. I wanted her to look up to me. I wanted her to be like, I want to be just like my mom. So I had to do the work in my life that she could say that with confidence, and that it would be a good thing for her to say that. Y'all ever heard the saying, do as I say and not as I do? That is a horrible saying, okay? I want my daughter to be able to do as I say and as I do. Of course, I don't mean like grown-up things, because she's not a grown-up. But the behaviors that I exhibit, the things that I practice in my life, I want her to be able to look at me and model after me and do those things when she becomes a mom, when she becomes a wife. So I'll say overall, the difference between having boys and now having a girl, the biggest difference was in myself. I had to do a lot with myself so that I could be the mom that she deserves. With the last two children, I did bottle feed. I attempted to breastfeed the both of them at the beginning of their life, but eventually my milk dried up for reasons unknown back then. But this time I was determined. Even before she came out, I knew, like, if I feel my milk drying up, or if it seems like I'm not going to be able to breastfeed her exclusively, like only breast milk, if it felt like I was going to have to start to supplement formula, I was just determined not to have to do that. I was determined that if I felt my milk starting to dry up, I was going to figure out why that was happening. And once you figure out why something is happening, then you can start to come up with a plan to stop it from happening. So me giving my daughter formula, it was not an option to me, you know, because I felt like I really wanted to do what I was created to do. I wanted to have that full bonding motherly experience with her. I wanted to give her what was best for her, and what's best for her is what was put in me to give her, to nurture her. So I wasn't taking no for an answer. Like, I was gonna breastfeed my baby, and if I felt like something was hindering that or stopping that, I was gonna figure out what it was and why and deal with it. It did get to a point where I felt my milk drying up. I actually prayed and said, you know, Most High, what is going on? Like, just direct me in what I should do to increase my milk production, because I felt it slowing down and I had no desire at all to give my daughter formula. He actually answered my prayer, and I was led to strictly nurse her. So we stopped giving her bottles at all. I stopped pumping milk and giving her bottles, and I started to strictly nurse her. And once I began to do that, I felt my supply of milk begin to increase, and I was able to breastfeed her with no problem, on demand, however much she wanted, whenever she wanted it. I really believe that that connection between me and her, it was a signal to my body. It was a signal. Her feeding directly off of me was a signal to my body, like, okay, you need to reduce, this baby needs you. So that definitely was a blessing, because I was determined, like, no, I'm going to breastfeed my child. And it's such a beautiful experience. Breastfeeding is a beautiful experience. If there are any moms out there who are contemplating, like, should I breastfeed, should I bottle feed, I 100% recommend breastfeeding. Just making the sacrifice to have that experience with your child. A lot of people see it so amazing how, like, animals or baby cubs or lions, how they just care for their child and how they have that bond and they're so protective over that child. Well, that's how humans are created to be as well, because there are so many things today that we supplement, you know, for food and things like that. We don't really realize how equipped we are for survival as humans. It's not just animals who can, like, survive with what they have right in front of them. Humans can too. So just breastfeeding, it really taught me that. It really just empowered me to not give up on things that I really want to do. I'm gonna try and go get Gigi, y'all, and see if she'll do better this time. Being a mom is like a superpower. So the more you use those powers that the Most High has placed in us, the stronger you get, you know. So to me, breastfeeding is one of my superpowers. So when I began to breastfeed her and realize, like, wow, I'm really nurturing my child off of something that is being produced in my own body, it started to translate mentally. It strengthened me in my mind. It began to show me how strong I am, like how strong the woman is created. And I translated in my life in other areas other than being a mom, other than breastfeeding, because I began to realize, like, I'm really strong, like, powerful, a woman, like, I can do this. Whatever I put my mind to, I can do it. So when you actually activate the powers that the Most High has placed in us and start to use them, they're like muscles. You'll get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. You'll begin to understand how powerful we are through them, and that you can do anything you put your mind to. So I'm excited to do all the things that are in my heart, that have been placed in my heart to do, and you'll see a lot of those things on this channel. So feel free to share our information with other young families. Feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and be on the lookout for all the new things that we have coming. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. Say bye, fussy rushy baby. Say bye.